What's up, guys? Mateckz here with a new power supply for the new build. I currently am using the Corsair 750 modular edition. Um, I have plenty of power, but I'm currently experiencing an issue where I'm getting some sound whining when I'm moving my mouse or I'm accessing a web page. And from most of the research that I did, the core cause of that issue was tied to Corsair power supplies. Now, I'm not saying Corsair power supplies aren't great power supplies. I've used them for probably over 7 years in my builds. They're great power supplies, but for some reason, this particular power supply that I have right now is causing whining through my mixer. If I don't use my mixer, I don't get it. So it could be the way the power supply grounds. Again, there's nothing wrong with my current power supply. It works great. It works very well. I'll probably continue to use Corsair power supplies in my cheaper builds. But I really wanted to try this power supply out. I've used the Supernova P1 in the past, and I was very happy with it. So we're going to do an unboxing of this product today. It's the EVGA Supernova 1000 P2. This is a 1000 watt power supply at the Platinum Plus level. So you're getting the most efficiency out of your power, or your use of electricity. I think you're utilizing something like 92% of the actual power supply. So this is supposedly going to be cheaper to run, and you're going to get the most out of the power supply. So we're just going to unbox it now. I just got this, just got home from work, so who knows what's gonna go on with it. It would probably just easier to do this, but I had to show off my my knife here. I gotta show that off. But all right, packaging wise, it's heavy. I don't know, I'd say it's close to 20 pounds maybe. What's this listed as? I don't know. Feels like 20 pounds. We're gonna put it down this way and lift it up. My monitor's in the way back here, so. Alright, so here we have the power supply. Look at this. It's the EVGA power cable holder. You just put them all in there. It's pretty sweet. The old version came with like a knapsack type thing. It wasn't as fancy, so this is a bit more fancier. We've got the power cable. Let's unwind this here. I don't know. Standard power cable. Looks like 0 gauge or along the lines of that. Yeah, I mean, standard power cable, nothing special about that. Here we have the main power that goes into the system board from the power supply. This feels pretty hefty here. This right here will go into the power supply. The motherboard. And this will go into the power supply. I'm actually going to pull that power supply out now, just so I can kind of point out to you guys where all of the cables go, just in case you guys are having issues or are deciding to buy something like this. This is a full modular power supply. We'll get to this a little bit later. I'm putting these foam things back in. I like keeping my boxes nice and neat, but this is pretty cool too. It comes in a little. This is definitely a bit fancier than the first version of this. But let's first show you this. Just going to show you that true power output. You're basically, this is a single 12-volt rail, so you're getting almost that. You're only losing a little bit of power off that. But all together, this thing is solid. Got the eco on, off. Whoops, sorry about that. Shaky. It's pretty nice looking, in my opinion. But here we're gonna look at the front here. So most of the stuff's labeled. You got your motherboard, you got your video card, one, you got your SATA, one, SATA 2, 3, 4. This goes to your CPU on your motherboard. This is just your PCI Express power. All this is for your PCI Express power. This can be your power for your SATA. But so basically, you have your motherboard cables here, and this is modular, so they just click in. You'll hear the click, and you'll know that you are in your motherboard, or in your power supply, excuse me, for your motherboard power. It's relatively long, so you should be able to do the cable management pretty nicely. I'm going to take this back out because I don't want to block the view of these other cables. Here we have the SATA power, and these are nice because my current power supply, the modular cables, they decided to kind of go fancy with it, and you see how this is flat? That'll go nice. That'll sit flat. If you, in this current case I have, the SSDs can be mounted on top of the power supply, but they have to be flat. I can't mount them with my current power supply because this first one here is flat, so it'll click straight into the SSD with no issues. There'll be no buckling or mutilation of the SATA power. On my current power supply, this is what the lead SATA looks like. So when you go to plug it into the SSD, there's a bulge here that causes the SATA power on the SSD to buckle, and that could potentially cause issues down the road. So a plus the EVGA for just keeping this straightforward and simple. That'll work great. And again, you're looking at sticking that right here for your actually SATA power here, and then you can run that to your DVD, CD, Blu-ray drives, SATA drives, spindle, and SSD. So let's see what else they have in here. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of SATA power. This is for your CPU to power the CPU and onto the motherboard. This is again just standard. This will go. These two that are separate, these will go into your motherboard, system board. And this goes into the power supply right here. You want to make sure you hear that click so you don't have any chance to arc your power supply or anything get in there. Came with some zip ties. Actually, no, those aren't zip ties. Those are actually Velcro cabling wraps. It's pretty nice. That's a plus on EVGA's part as well. It's pretty cool. This again is the same type of CPU cable. This goes into the power supply. These go into the motherboard. If you're doing a dual CPU motherboard, you'll probably need two of these, but most standard motherboards you won't need. This is for your video card. The one that separates into 6 pins versus 8. This goes to this right here. This cable goes into your video card, excuse me, and then the one that doesn't separate goes into your power supply, into your VGA number 1. You want to make sure that clicks in. Most of the time you'll need two of these. if you're doing a single card setup, if you're doing SLI, buy 2 of these. Most of the 700 GTX 700 series plus, you'll need 2 of these cables for the power to power the card. That's if you're doing a single card setup. If you're doing SLI, you'll need 4 of those. So they give you, this is just a Mateckz right here, standard Mateckz for your older spindle drives or older DVD drives and stuff like that. They're kinda, you really probably shouldn't be using anything Mateckz at this point in your build in 2017. Although if you do buy something like a USB 3 PCI Express card, normally they're powered by Mateckz. So that's why it's good to always have these. And again, you can just, see, this is labeled. This is pretty much idiot proof. Peripheral right there. You want to put that right into perf 1. And again, this is these are pretty much being phased out on all infrastructure or hardware. So the only reason you need this is if like you bought a PCI card to expand your expand your USB ports or something like that along the lines. I'm kind of just pulling this stuff out one at a time, so we kind of have everything all over the place. This is pretty neat that they include this too. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but basically these 2 pins here connect the ground and the power and the turn on switch together on the power supply, and this tests if the power supply is good or not. If the power supply is good, it'll turn on. If it's not good, it won't turn on the power supply. So you can use this on any of your power supplies. It's the same pinout. It's very useful. This is obviously an inexpensive one. They make ones that like light up and tell you, where exactly the power failure is. But this one, they didn't have to include this in. It's pretty cool that they did. Again, a plus on EVGA's part. Really cool. This is just another VGA power. Again, you'll need 2 of those anyhow. Another VGA. That's if you're doing SLI. Another VGA. Another VGA. So they're not skimping out when you're buying this here. You've got some SATA here, and again, it's all labeled. It's really hard to mess up plugging this in. And if you do plug this in somewhere, let's see if you even can. I mean, you really can't even plug this in. Yeah, I mean, you really can't plug this in anywhere besides where you're able to plug it in. My current power supply, you can plug in like the VGA and whatnot in places where they're not supposed to be, but Corsair was intelligent enough to build a safe proof mechanism. You won't short the power supply out. Again, this power supply you don't have to worry about. This again is SATA. You don't have to worry really about that. Video power again. Excuse me, I gotta get a drink of water. It's getting warm out. Okay, excuse me. Again, we have more Mateckz and more SATA. They also include some power supply screws to go into your case. Again, here is what this device looks like. It's really, really well built. Build wise, I mean, I could probably throw this through a United States tank and it would pierce through the armor. So it's very well built. And here's some dessert that they also include, some freeze-dried dessert. You want to open this up. This is really good stuff. You eat this and then your stomach explodes, so you won't ever be hungry again. It's really like a diet plan. So it's pretty cool that they include that too. But all together, I have to say, I haven't tested this device, but it feels good, and I'm hoping it gets rid of my whine that I'm hearing through my headphones. I will post a review of this device. I also have a review of the Death Adder Chroma, the ROG Asus Strix gaming motherboard with the Intel 7700K, as well as the G-Skill RGB memory, the DDR4. I don't know if you guys notice, I'm gonna just pull this off real quick. I now have the glorious PC Gaming Race mouse mat here. I've had one of these, but I ordered a new one because I just wanted one for each table, because I purchased the identical desk that I'm using here for my streaming setup. So it looks pretty good, and I have a review of that coming as well. I'm just doing a little bit of editing, because when I zoomed out to show it in the video, it didn't look right, so I'm doing some editing to that video just so it's clearer for both of you guys. But it's a nice mat, $40, and it's crisp as can be. But again, this isn't about that. I just wanted to do a little side note. This thing's a beast. I'm highly confident that this is going to do what I need it to do. So guys, if you like the channel, please subscribe. Every subscription matters to me. If you go through all my videos, I reply to every single person, regardless of the time of day. If I get a notification, even if I'm sleeping, I'll get up and respond to that to that comment or question. And if I don't, like I said, I rarely don't respond, you know, within a 5-hour period. But guys, likes, subscribes, comments, it means so much to me, honestly. And I just want to thank the subscribers I currently have for just asking questions, following up with my questions that I ask. It really means a lot, and I just want to thank you guys for the support. I know my channel's small, and I've got a lot of growing to do. I do all the video editing myself. It's not great. I do all the sound editing myself. It's not great. I'm not going to do any sound editing on this video. I'm just recording it straight from my camera, because I want to just get this video up to give you guys some new content. But everything I do myself. I don't have a Photoshop guy. I don't have a video guy. I don't have an avatar guy. I'm looking for somebody to help me out if anybody's interested in doing that. If you go to my Twitter, my business email is there. That would be amazing. And I certainly I wouldn't expect it to be done for free. If you guys do good work, I will, you know, pay you for your work if it is done well. But again, I just want to thank you guys. It really does mean a lot. I normally thank people on my stream, but I just want to take a few minutes, you know, to just, you know, acknowledge all the people who comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. It really does mean a lot to me. It's not overlooked. So thank you. We're also going to show this real quick. I forgot to show this earlier. I mean, this is just standard stuff. Your introduction, safety information, what's in the box, features, installation, questions and answers. You know, this is just, it's really not important to me. It may be important to some of you guys, but when you've been doing this long enough, you don't need this. But again, I keep all my boxes in crisp, very good condition, and I keep all the manuals and whatnot. So it's good to keep around, I guess. It's not something I'll throw out. But again, this is just a quick unboxing. This is not a review. I haven't even put it in my computer yet. I'm doing that right now. It's 6:34 on a Wednesday, February 22nd, and I hope to have this in no later than 7 to have it up and tested. So yes, thank you again. Sorry for this long video. Again, I just want to take some time to thank you guys. Thank you so much.